Got to figure out this camera thing. This is switching back and forth. It shuts off the video every time. Plus, I can't play music, so I need more to figure this out if I'm going to do this. Yes, I throw arms in there just because Friday's my arm day, and so I just throw these in just for a little bit extra. Let's go. 60 pounds. I wonder. Try something. One thing I need to figure out, this side is not smooth. Something somewhere in here is just not sure how effective that is, especially on that side. But so, and the point of doing your leg extensions and leg curls first, before I move on to the Smith Machine squat, is to work to tire these out first, stretch these out, and put load on your quads and your hamstrings before you get to the squat. So I'm doing 12 reps on these just to get burned in before I do what I normally do, which is my squats and calf raises and all that. Normally, I'm doing 8 reps of anything, 3 sets of 8 reps. I will be 55 years old here in September, so creeps up on you. I'm relatively busted up. Wrist surgery, knee surgery, back surgery, broken ribs, all kinds of cool stuff. And if you're even moderately active by the time you're 55, you've got some miles and some broken parts on you. I broke my back in 2023. I was in relatively good shape going into it. Not like I am now, but pretty good. But I got really bad 2024, 2025. From where I'm at right now, this morning I was 199 pounds. And I was up to 240 back in right around Halloween of last year. So, and between then and probably about April, lost 51 pounds, put on about 10 pounds, a little over 10 pounds of muscle in that time, according to the digital scale. Yeah, we can debate how accurate those things are, but at least I'm using the same scale. I'm using it every week, same time, and it's working well. Right now, I'm built this. You can see the video. I'll link the video in the comments about building this gym back in mid-January and of this year. And that's also when I had an older Smith machine, didn't have all the cable attachments. So we replaced that with this. This is a Mikolo Horus. This thing's amazing. Added some of this, the leg extension bench, call it that. But that'll be linked where I talk about this, some of the modifications that I've made to this, a couple more things to do here in the coming weeks. But in that time, went from 240 all the way down to about 185-ish. I'm 199 now, and that's 10.4 pounds of muscle, and all the rest of it was fat loss. My visceral fat score going from a 13 down to a 4. I can definitely feel amazing. Feel 30 years younger than I am. So I really filmed myself working out before. I feel like this is probably going to be useful. Used to play a lot of golf a long time ago, and shot for my amateur card actually. And but with my back, those days are done. But used to film yourself, film your swing, and make adjustments. And that same thing applies to pretty much everything you can do physically. But I've never filmed myself lifting. I feel like those movements are a bit sloppy. So it'll be interesting when I review this to see how those look. It's interesting being right-handed, where it feels like my left tricep is substantially stronger than my right. Definitely need to figure out the music. This is working out in silence is not great. And since I stream off my phone, I'll have to figure that out. Easy thing to figure out. Just first time recording myself. All right, let's change this. Six, seven, 10. Yeah, it definitely focuses in on your quads. Yeah, nice. Deliberately built this gym pretty small. It is, see if I can remember, it's 15 by 14. I probably could have carried it out to 20 some odd feet this way, but I feel like the space kept me. I don't have a full dumbbell rack. I love those Bowflex adjustable, uh, nice and tight. You know, it's compact. I have the kettlebell. I have to get another one actually. I learned that. Two of them is much, much more useful. Gear hangs on the wall. I do have to expand that. I built that table. That's another video on here. I need to actually get it posted. Smith machine, the treadmill. I have a rower here. I have a bunch of free weights, and it all fits. I have lights, I have radio, I have music. Bars are there. I don't really need anything else. My trap bar and my calf extension, which I actually need here in a minute. Farmers carry stuff, heavy bags behind you, behind the camera. Try to make everything in here. I use everything in here over time. Doing neck exercises back at the beginning of the year from January till about May made a huge difference. This is fantastic. I don't feel like there's anything I cannot do in here. Left one was weak. One thing you realize as you make progress with this is that when you start out with a basic Olympic bar, I've owned this bar and these steel weights for they're probably 26, 28 years old. I've had them forever. You start running out of weights as you get stronger. So I've got this 320 set and the rubber coated set that came with the Smith machine. And I do try and do, part of my problem is the way I do my exercises. I've usually got two, as you just saw, I run through 3 or 4 exercises at a time in order, and then do the sets from there. And so when I've got a couple of things using full bars or whatever, you tend to run out of weight. All right, one last set. Like I said before, this should be. Yeah, I added 12 pounds to that, so 72. 60 pounds before. Left arm is definitely, left tricep is definitely stronger. Probably work on that. Now, all right. Let's reposition this camera. I think. Actually, let's not. These will be interesting to watch. Again, I have a L2 through L5 fusion. That's a whole nother story, but basically I have two vertebrae glued together. My L4 and L5 left pars are glued on. I've got ablated discs in L2 and L3. L4 and L5 are reconstructed discs. I have bars. Everybody, if you have fusion, you've got the bars with the bolt, with the hardware. And so you tend not to, can't flex nearly as much as I used to be able to. So yeah, that's the first time that I've done the quad extensions first. That's definitely more efficient, more effective. Yeah. And that's light. I used to start out 2 plates. So what would that be? So 2 plates in a 10, so 225. This is substantially beneath that, actually. 140. So this is 165. So yeah, way below what I normally do. And that was good. This will be Romanian deadlifts. This will be interesting because originally, so my surgery was coming up on 3 years ago. So I walked out of the hospital. Well, I wheeled out of the hospital in a wheelchair 3 years ago on Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving morning, 2023. So, bought that trap bar because the surgeon said that there were a few things that I could not do. He was actually really good about telling me, he's like, I'm not going to tell you no. He said, you're just going to do things slower. My wife and I jump, skydive, and he said, yeah, you'll heal, give it a year or two, and you'll be back at it. I haven't jumped yet, but we will. Deadlifts was another one. So absolutely just don't do them anymore, because you're going to develop, you're going to offload. He said the titanium that all of this is made out of is, as you can imagine, quite inflexible. And it'll take a lot of weight. And so my L2 through my L5 can take a lot of weight. And what you end up doing is you offload that stress up and like outside of that range. So in my case, it's my L1 up into my thoracic, and to my S1, which is your sacrum, which is your hips. And that's actually the disc most people have problems with. Your S1, your L5 to S1 disc is the one that the vast majority of people have issues with. When you have back pain, when you have neuropathy, when you have that, when you stand up and you're kind of like this for a minute, and you've got, that's weak musculature, but it's also your S1 is where that pain comes from. And fortunately, mine was actually okay. But I'm offloading by doing these. In theory, I'm offloading that weight. So I bought a trap bar, which helped, and I started with that, progressed really well. But I now do Romanian deadlifts, which move that back so we can see what we're doing. But I do Romanian deadlifts, relatively light. I'm not, again, I'm almost 55 years old. I am trying to set PRs. I'm just trying, not like when I was 25. When I was in the Marine Corps, or when I was in college, and I actually took lifting classes in college. I'm not trying to set any of that, but I do find that doing these has made my back stronger. And like I tell everybody, when they ask about my back, for those that know about the incident, I now doing this, if you told me I had back surgery, I'd have to think about it. I have no neuropathy. I have almost no residual pain. The only pain that I have anymore, I have no back pain. I stand up fine. I can do this fine. The only pain that I have left is when they put these in, your body's asymmetric, right? We're not Greek gods, at least most of us aren't. And so your body's asymmetric. And so when those bolts went in, my wife noticed that the bolt at my L2 on my left-hand side, you can kind of see its presence through my skin, through the muscle. And you can definitely feel it if you press on it, which is very, very weird. But I do get a stinging there every now and again, just randomly. And it's not exercise. It's not related to exercising. I can be sitting on the couch. I can go for a walk. I use standing desks in my office. I can be standing, and just out of nowhere, it'll just, like a bee sting, and it'll last for, I don't know, if I had to guess, 5-10 minutes maybe, and then it just kind of goes away. But it's right over that bolt head. And yeah. All right, let's see what these look like. You guys can critique whether I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that actually truly does feel good on my back as it gets stronger. So we're going to take this up to 250. Just so Works my calves. Nice. Nice. We're going to take this up to 185. And then we're going to take the Romanian deadlift up to 155. Nice. Definitely need to work on resting between sets. Too much of a hurry. The other thing I'm working on, the way this is going to switch up, I'm going to continue lifting like this. But right now, my body fat percentage is sitting at, again, according to that scale, 18 That was a 18.6%. Scenarios in the 30s, not bad. But I do want to get lower. I don't. I'm now 5'10". I joined the Marine Corps, 5'11 3/4". That's a whole big story in of itself. Very offensive. Didn't even spot me that quarter inch. But 5'10" now. 199. So I went down to 185. Felt amazing. Lighter. Now, I did put on, like I said, a little over 10 pounds of muscle. My plan is to put on a little bit more. But I would like to cut. I'd like to get rid of this. And according to the scale, relative to my body fat, got 35 pounds of body fat according to the scale. And if I can cut that down, 38 pounds, something like that. If I could cut, if I could take this back down to, if I could get back down to like below 190, 185, 188, 190, 185 to 190 with maintaining this amount of muscle and then add a little bit more. Ultimately, I'd like to be 190 at 5'10", and that would feel pretty cool. It'd feel amazing. I got out of the Marine Corps at 175, 180, and that's crazy. Say, paying at 175, and at one point I was 240. That was the heaviest I ever weighed. Madness. Absolute madness. But it happens, man. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. When you're doing those, do them light at first. Everybody tells you this. Do them light. Figure out what your movement is. Get your form right. You should really feel it in your hamstrings when you're down. If you don't, you're either bending your knees too much. Definitely don't lock your legs out. So just a couple of degrees. And as you do that motion, you can feel it right through your hamstrings. Feels amazing. And that works the same thing as hamstrings if you're doing the leg curls. All right. Nice. So this is my Wednesday workout. Wednesdays are leg day, and stay with me. Bros never let bro skip leg day. Mondays, I'm in here doing chest and back, kind of a push-pull guy. It seems to have worked. So Mondays are chest and back. Wednesday's leg day. Friday is arms. And then Sunday is body weight. So pull-ups, push-ups, air squats, stuff like that. I do. Sometimes I'm on the rower. I'll hang the heavy bag up and do stuff like that on Sundays. I do sets of 33. So it's 33 push-ups, 33 air squats, pull-ups. It's crazy. I used to max pull-ups, dead hang. Well, I was both. I went into the Marine Corps so long ago that you used to be able to kip in like the first couple of years I was in the Marine Corps. And I maxed out pull-ups all the time. Both. And then they changed it to dead hang, which I still max 20. I couldn't imagine doing 20 pull-ups now. Again, I was, 20 pounds lighter and 30 years younger, 25 years younger, whatever. So I do assisted for right now. I'll do 6 wide grip, and then I'll switch to, and I'll do 6 more of those. And then 33. And so I end up doing 99 push-ups, 99 air squats, and some number of pull-ups, 30 something. And and I do that Sundays, and then usually 1 or 2 days during the week, I'll do that same routine, usually like on a Tuesday or a Thursday. I'll break it up. But then I also have, you find these workouts that are relatively lightweight. I found one. I'll have to link it in here because it's really good, but it's a dumbbell workout just for your arms. You can find it on X, but it's really good. So I do that one too, like on Tuesdays or Thursdays, just in between doing stuff. So, all right, one more set. Another thing, I'm going to video everything that I do. So today's Wednesday. I'm starting with this one. If I decide to work out tomorrow, I'll film. I'm just going to film through, so I film everything and get these uploaded. And that way I get to check my form. You guys can roast me or congratulate me or, hey, you should be doing this. Hey, have you tried doing this instead? And yeah, and you guys should be doing this. If you're doing this work, well, one, most people aren't. They just aren't. And film it, put it up there. Ignore the haters, the people that are going to make fun of you. They're eating Cheetos, taking their blood pressure medication, and their Zoloft. So that's why they have time to make fun of you. Remember the saying, nobody throws rocks from above. It's all the people below throwing rocks up at you. So if somebody's making fun of you, just mute them, whatever, ignore them. And read what people positive. Most people are going to congratulate you. Some people are going to weigh in and say, hey, dude, nice form, or you're doing this, this, and this. Like, you have a back fusion. Stop doing those. I'm fully expecting somebody to tell me that. And this Romanian deadlifts, you should be doing this instead. Get back on your trap bar so you don't destroy your all that work in your back, or whatever. You'd be amazed at the stuff that comes out of this by just posting this and letting people see what you're doing. So, That is a, yeah, the aforementioned busted, broken, and repaired in the Marine Corps. I blew out my ACL and my meniscus, so I had surgery done at Walter Reed. Yes, I was in the Marine Corps, but I was on an Army base when it happened, so that's a whole nother story. But Army did my surgery. I got Teflon, little Teflon meniscus. ACL was repaired, and didn't get med board. Well, I got med board, but I got to stay in, so I was pretty lucky. But that starts acting up. That was in 1996. Ooh. Ran all throughout that time, even before the Marine Corps. Did 13 marathons, done a bunch of Ironmans. Used to run 5Ks at lunch after I got out of the Marine Corps. Knee was fine. But I do notice 20, good Lord, 30 years later, good Lord, that it is starting to, it has deteriorated. The VA, of course, checks this every now and again, and the meniscus that I have shredded a little bit, but wait till you get older. They told me that best bet is to just wear it down because I'll end up with just a full knee replacement at some point. And at 55, it's just how far that is ahead. So by doing this and strengthening everything up, it feels so much better. Interestingly, I went from, breaking my back and being on a walker and all that craziness. Knee used to click. When I was 240 pounds, I'd go up the stairs, click, 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 and lose all that weight. All that's gone. Strengthening up your quads, your hamstrings, your calves, all these associated, and everything associated with it by doing this. The clicking's gone. There's no pain whatsoever. So if I keep this up, I can stretch this out for a long time. And who knows, maybe never have my knee replaced. That'd be kind of cool. I can keep this going. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'll have other videos up on TRT. Have been for years. I'm also on a whole big structure of peptides, very organized thing, and there will be a video on this channel about that, talking about our various stacks or cycles and the whole plan that was developed. I developed, because the idea is, if you're 30 and you start on peptides, probably not too much broken with you. But with us, my wife and I worked out a plan of repair, stabilize, and enhance. And for those of you that know about the various peptides, the little bit of a gray area to some, but So that'll be a video in here. I should probably link it for you guys. Where I discuss that, the whole structure, which ones to do first, which ones you do together, ones that enhance, enable each other, and then the ones you want to do in a specific order. You know, the whole debate about SS31 and MOTC, what order you do them in. So that video will be in there. All right, last one. You know, it's going to be like, why didn't you just unload the left and then the right? And that's because I still think of these like the old Olympic bar days where you symmetrically unloaded your bar so it didn't flip off the bench, kill somebody. And yes, I know this is a Smith machine. And yes, I know it probably doesn't matter. One said Smith machine. But it's a habit. And therefore it will continue. So, all right. Everybody. Thank you for joining me on my TED Talk on my Wednesday workout. Like I said, I'm gonna film the whole thing. So if I work out tomorrow, I'll film that, and definitely Friday, and through next week till I get the whole thing filled out. I'll get this thing posted and let you guys critique away. Thank you much.